I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to talk about the ASRock 1U4L4E-GENOA 2T. Let's get going. Hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the ASRock 1U4L4E-GENOA 2T. Do us a favor, find anything that helps in this video, click that like and smash that subscribe. All right, let's go ahead and hop in. What we're going to do in this video as a whole, we're going to do a general overview and go over the specs from the RAM to the drives to the CPU, which is the most important part. We're going to go over the network card options, which are a bit limited. We're going to go over the supported operating systems plus a bunch more. So let's just go and hop into all the good stuff. All right, so first and foremost, as I mentioned, the CPU is the most important feature and really is what probably drawing you to this system in the first place. If you know me, I love AMD as a whole, especially right now. AMD Genoa and Bergamo are top of the line, and the 9004 series, which is what is inside the ASRock here, is my personal favorite series right now, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So let's start with the fact that there's one CPU inside. It's an SP5 socket, which, as I mentioned, means it's an AMD Genoa Zen 4 processor, which is the 9004 series. People ask us all the time, hey, what processor do you recommend? And really it kind of depends on your application and what you're trying to get out of your system. So what we like to do is we break it down into three categories. We have our low end, our value, and our high end. The low end is going to be more budget friendly. The value is going to be kind of a mix where it's going to be a little bit more expensive than the low end, but it's going to have better specs. And then there's the high end, which is going to be your top of the line. And really that's some of my favorites right now. You're going to have the 9654, which is a beautiful 96 core proc that you can drop in that isn't crazy expensive for what you're getting. It's actually a really good price. And then there's the 9754, which is 128 core proc. And it's, to me, it's insane that you can have one processor nowadays and put it in and have the kind of performance that you're getting with the Genoa series. So if you're right now looking for a Genoa system, maybe that's what got you to look at this video in the first place, we'd love the opportunity to help you figure out which is the right Genoa for you. We do Asus, ASRock, Gigabyte, Supermicro, Tyan, plus a bunch more. So email us at sales@cloudninjas.com, and we'd love the opportunity to earn your data center, your home labs business. So all right, let's hop into RAM. All right, let's talk RAM. So it's DDR5 memory. There's 8 DIMM slots inside. You can use 4800 speed or 5600 speed. You can use a number of different DIMM slot sizes. You can go as low as a 16 gig, a 32 gig, a 48 gig, a 64 gig, a 96 gig, a 128 gig, a 256 gig, or all the way up to 512 gigabytes. So yes, you could technically put in 4 terabytes of RAM using 8 512 gigabytes. Now it will clock down to 3600 speed when you do that, but you still can put in 4 terabytes of RAM in here as a whole. And I should mention you can use ECC Registered, which is your normal RDIMM, or ECC Registered 3DS. So really you're using ECC Registered DIMMs in the system as a whole. And again, I did want to point out that that is one of the downfalls. So right now, again, if you're selecting what do you want, once you get to 768 gigabytes, a 96 gigabyte module is still reasonably priced, but that jump to 128 is just that's that killer mark where if you need a terabyte of RAM, then this isn't the best solution. And we have some other ones that, again, if you email us, we can definitely help you figure out what's best for you. So let's talk storage. This is a 4-bay large form factor chassis, but it is a little different because you can't put 2.5-inch drives. It's set up, the trays are set up to put 2.5-inch drives. So it's tri-mode. So with the tri-mode, you can put in NVMe SSDs, you can put in SATA SSDs, or you can put in SAS SSDs. With the SAS SSDs, I do want to note you need to have the proper cabling, and you need to have a RAID card for the SAS SSDs, and then you can technically put in a 3.5-inch hard drive. So those are going to be your 4 choices as far as what types of drives that you can put in. Now with NVMe SSDs, this is my personal favorite because it's the fastest, it's going to be highest scalability on the SSD side, and it's the cheapest price point on the SSD side. It's actually cheaper than SATA and SATA and SAS right now SSDs, which is kind of crazy because NVMe was always the most expensive because it's the best performing, but right now it's even cheaper. So that's the way I lean. But let's go over all the specs so you can make your own choices. So with NVMe, you can get 15.36 terabytes per drive. You can get 16 gigabit per second. Now with SATA SSDs, you can get 7.68 terabytes and 6 gigabit per second. So it's going to be lesser scalability and slower speed. So again, and it costs more right now. So again, I lean to the NVMe over SATA. Now with SAS, SSDs, first off, you have to have the extra RAID controller, so that's going to cost more. You can get the same scalability as NVMe and more than the SATA. It's going to be 15.36, but you're going to get 12 gigabit per second. So again, it's going to be slower than the NVMe and it costs more. So again, I keep going back to the NVMe just because that's my personal favorite right now. It's the cheapest and the best performing, so that's where I go. Now, if you want storage and you go the 3.5-inch SATA hard drive, you can get up to 24 terabytes per, so that's what you want and you're not looking for SSDs, then that's great on the storage side because you can drop in 4 24 terabyte drives and essentially put in 96 terabytes of storage, which is incredibly beefy for this machine. And one other important note while we're talking storage is there are 2 M.2 NVMe or SATA 2280. So really I'd again go NVMe here because this is great for a boot drive and you're going to want the fastest possible solution. So NVMe will be faster and you can get up to 4 terabytes per or 3.84 if you're using enterprise, but a 4 terabyte 990 Pro or Evo is great, and it is going to be PCIe 4.0 as far as what the M.2 can do. All right, let's talk network cards and network options. So this is, again, one of the downfalls, unfortunately, for this machine, in my personal opinion. So there are 2 built-in X550 RJ45 10 gigabit Ethernet. So that part is nice, but a lot of people are going to want more than that. And if that's all you need, then hey, it's built in and that's great. You don't even have to add an extra card because some of the Genoas don't even have 10 gigabit at all. So that is a nice feature. There is one IPMI management port that's pretty standard. Those are the 3 built-in slots, but after that there's no OCP 3.0, so that's not an option, and there's only 1 PCIe slot. So if you need that PCIe slot for a RAID card, for instance, then you can't add any extra network cards. If you, which you're probably not using the RAID, but you might be. So if that's the case, then you can't use a network card. So it's a little bit limiting in that factor when there's other Genoa systems that are out there that have 3 PCIe plus an OCP 3.0. So again, it depends on what you're looking for. The price point on this chassis is tremendously good, but you're missing certain features, and so RAM and network cards are, in my opinion, the big downfall as far as this chassis. All right, let's talk power supplies. There's 2 750-watt redundant hot swap power supplies. All right, so last but certainly not least, here are the supported operating systems. So Windows Server 2019-2022 popular, VMware ESXi 8.0, there's Red Hat and Ubuntu. So there's several good and common operating systems that are supported. And hey, if you made it this far, click that like, smash that subscribe. And again, if you're looking for any AMD Genoas or any other systems for that matter, we custom build Zeus, ASRock, Gigabyte, Tyan, Super Micro, plus a bunch more. And we love the opportunity to earn your business. Thanks for stopping by, guys.